What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. So the Green Bay Packers' first OTA session that is open to the media was today. So in this video, I have some highlights from today's OTA practice to go over and react to. And if you are a new viewer to this channel, I'll be posting updates every single time the Packers have an OTA practice that is open to the media, from highlights and then also the key takeaways, which I'll also be posting a little bit later today after this video. So be on the lookout for that. And if you are a new viewer and that does interest you and you want more Packers news analysis and updates every single day, go down, click the subscribe button. It supports my channel a ton, as well as leave a like on the video. Not every OTA session is open to the media, so we won't be able to have highlights from every session, but we have them from today. We'll also have them from the session on May 31st and the session on June 6th. And also, just a reminder, the media is not allowed to film 11-on-11 periods, so we don't have any film of that, just the warm-up and stuff. But nonetheless, we are finally back seeing some type of Packers football. Yes, it is just OTAs, but the offseason as a whole is always interesting, and this one will be even more interesting due to the turnaround on this football team going from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love, and just really how young the football team is as a whole going into this season. All right, so let's waste no more time and bring up the screen here. And in this first highlight, we have Green Bay Packers quarterback one, Jordan Love, doing a rollout drill, a quick pass to a trainer there. I'm actually pretty confident in Jordan Love. I know a lot of people, or a lot of the outside talking heads, are pretty much saying that, this is going to be a bad year for the Packers. Jordan Love's going to have a bad season. And they're pretty much putting the Packers at the bottom of the league. Now, I'm not saying they're going to come out here and win the division and be a 13-win team again. I think there will be their struggles this year. There will be the highs and there will be the lows, and that includes Jordan Love. But I do think he'll come out here and he will impress us, and there will be times where we really see, his true potential at quarterback. So I'm really excited to see where this team goes with Jordan Love here. Here we have a clip of Jordan Love and Danny Etling, who's been taking number 2 reps at quarterback, throwing to wide receivers and tight ends. This wide receiver room is super young. Them drafting 3 wide receivers in Jane Reed, Dontavian Wicks, and Grant DeBose. Really excited for those 3. And then, of course, year 2 of Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Samori Toure. And there's also some other guys on the roster, such as Bo Melton. Just like I said, really excited for this young wide receiver room and how they're going to progress, getting on the same page as Jordan Love. Obviously, the previous years we go through, Aaron Rodgers not really showing up to OTAs and not really getting on the same page as these young wide receivers. But it's nice to see Jordan Love out here getting the work in right away with these young wide receivers and getting ready for the upcoming season. And speaking of Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, here's a clip of Jordan Love and Danny Etling. Etling throwing to Doubs on this quick curl, and Jordan Love throwing on this deep corner in the end zone to Christian Watson, as I said in the previous clip. Super excited for year 2 of Watson and Doubs. Obviously, we saw Watson, blow up last year, and if he wasn't hurt for most of it, could have been Offensive Rookie of the Year if he kept that pace up. Wasn't used too much after the drop in Minnesota week 1. Then he finally caught his stride in the middle of the year and was pretty much scoring touchdowns every single week. I think it's going to be yet another big jump for Christian Watson, and he's going to become a very nice target for Jordan Love and just an overall target for this Green Bay Packers offense as a deep threat. And I think they're going to try to expand a little bit on his route tree for this next upcoming season. He did really well with Jordan Love in that Eagles game where Jordan Love had to come in and actually played pretty well. So like I said, very excited for both of these wide receivers. They're definitely wide receivers number 1 and number 2. And then the rest, we'll see how that turns out throughout, OTAs, training camp, and preseason. But Christian Watson is definitely set to be that wide receiver 1 in the Packers offense, and Romeo Doubs likely wide receiver number 2. And here we have Jordan Love throwing a quick pass to running back 1, Aaron Jones, who took a pay cut this season just to stay on the team. Aaron Jones is a true Green Bay Packer. I mean, this guy screams Green Bay Packer. He's super humble, very, very good running back over the past, 4 to 5 seasons for the Green Bay Packers. And I think that will continue this year. And the Packers will have to, kind of ride on the back of Aaron Jones a lot early in this season as a runner and as a receiver. Because, if Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, yes, they are your receivers, but Aaron Jones is a receiver himself as a running back, and they can use him in that way. And I believe they're going to have to on this offense to make this offense work and lean on the shoulders of Aaron Jones. It seemed like last year they kind of went away from Aaron Jones at times, where you're kind of sitting there scratching your head going, keep giving the ball to Aaron Jones. So they're going to have to do that this year. Super excited for Aaron Jones and also A.J. Dillon and that running back room as a whole. Here we have another video of Jordan Love going through some quick throwing motion drills here. It's crazy to see how much smoother and quicker his release looks from year 1 to now year 3 here. I feel like it has definitely changed, and Tom Clements, I think, has definitely been orchestrating, training Jordan Love like he did Aaron Rodgers, early on in his career. So nice to see Jordan Love's mechanics getting better as his career goes on in the NFL, and we're finally going to see that put to test in his first year as a starter on the Packers. Here we have a clip of offensive lineman, we'll call him Zach Tom, doing a block and drill here real quick. I think today he got snaps starting at right guard, at right tackle. I'm sure he could play some center. He could play pretty much, I think, every position on the offensive line. We've seen him play some left tackle. I think he could fight for that job at center over Josh Myers. I know a lot of people are thinking that as well, and I think that could be a camp battle for this upcoming training camp. But nonetheless, Zach Tom should be starting no matter what. Whatever position that may end up being, Zach Tom is one of the 5 best offensive linemen, and he needs to be on the field. So I'm interested to see how the offensive line starts to mesh and who that 5 end up being. I'm assuming it's going to be David Bakhtiari, Elton Jenkins, Zach Tom, John Runyon, and then kind of who that 5th guy is, whether it's Josh Myers at center or Josh Nijman at right tackle or something of that sort. We'll see what that ends up being, but Zach Tom should definitely be one of the top 5. Here we have the running backs going through a cone agility drill. Aaron Jones with the quick feet. There's A.J. Dillon, and then followed by Tyler Goodson behind him, who we don't see in the clip. But as I said last year, I was really excited for the yin and yang of Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. A little bit underwhelmed from A.J. Dillon's 2022 campaign, but I do expect a bounce back, and I do expect a better A.J. Dillon in 2023. Not saying he was terrible in 2022, but we kind of all, I think, expected more of that rookie season he had, and we expected more of that in year 2. I think he will bounce back, and the Packers, like I said, will have to really lean on that running game of Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon to help out Jordan Love, and I think they will do that early, and that'll be through Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, and whoever that 3rd running back may be, we'll find out if that's going to be, Tyler Goodson or Lou Nichols or Patrick Taylor, one of those guys. Here we have a clip of the Packers' first-round draft selection, Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa. I believe he got reps with the number 2 edge rushing group today in 11v11s. That's kind of where I expect him to start going into this season. I didn't expect him to come right out and start right away, even with Rashawn Gary not returning yet. I think Kingsley Enagbare will kind of get the start outside there with Preston Smith, but I think Lucas Van Ness will get rotated in plenty to start this season, and he has a lot of snaps at Iowa, and a lot of people say, oh, he never started a game at Iowa. That's because they started their seniors so they would get the starts. Lucas Van Ness had the 2nd most snaps out of every front 7 guy on the team that last year, and over his career, the guys on the defensive line. So he has plenty of experience, and I think he will get plenty of snaps this year, and I'm super excited about his versatility, his athleticism out there on the edge. In a room with Rashawn Gary when he comes back, Preston Smith, Kingsley Enagbare, there's a lot of guys in that room I'm excited for. Lucas Van Ness definitely on the top of the list. Just intrigued to see what he's going to do in his rookie season. And for the final clip of the day, we have some look at safety here. Here we have the Packers' newly signed safety, Jonathan Owens, from the Texans last year, who started for the Texans at safety. Then we see Tarvarius Moore, who was signed earlier in the offseason from the 49ers. I think Tarvarius Moore got some of the snaps with the first team, but I think there's an open competition. OTAs aren't going to tell us anything really in terms of who's going to be starting at safety. I think the Packers love both of these guys in terms of the experience they have, especially Tarvarius Moore has more snaps under his belt than Jonathan Owens, but both guys are veterans, and both guys have a chance to be starting at safety, I believe, next to Rudy Ford, and Darnell Savage will be used in different ways as well. There's a big question mark at that safety room. I'm intrigued at how that will turn out. I kind of wish they drafted someone a little bit earlier. I'm really hyped about Anthony Johnson Jr. in that 7th round. A lot of people had him as like a 5th round safety, so I guess if you look at it that way, they did kind of get a guy earlier, but he's still a 7th round draft selection. I thought there were some guys in the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th round that they could have picked up, but nonetheless, that's a very deep room, just a very unknown room at safety. They have a lot of guys in there, but it's just really unknown who's going to end up starting at safety next to Rudy Ford. I think we can all agree that Rudy Ford's going to be a starting safety. Then it's just a question mark of who the other guy is, at least in the base defense. And I think Tarvarius Moore and Jonathan Owens definitely have a decent shot at becoming that safety number 2. So those are all the clips I have from today's OTA practice. They practiced yesterday as well. There was a start of OTAs, but it wasn't open to the media. This was the first day open to the media, therefore we have the clips. I'll put all the sources of these clips on Twitter down in the description below if you guys want to check out their accounts as well. Shout out to all the guys who are at the OTAs right now recording these clips. And like I said, every time there is a practice open to the media and there is highlights, I will be posting it right here on this channel. So go turn on notifications as well so you don't miss those videos. But that about does it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like down below. I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, go Pack Go.